All right.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Randy and Janelle Live. We're in the same picture. This is Janelle.
This is amazing. I'm Janelle.
I'm Randy.
And I think this is the first time, actually, we have been in the same screen.
It is.
This is a little weird.
So fun. We're not split screen. We have the same background. Look at, we're working on stuff.
I know, we have
for our next event.
Yep. I'm super excited for that. So
when is that?
A lot of, not this Friday, but next Saturday, the 6th.
March 6th is our next pop-up event.
That's only like a week and a half away.
We got a lot of work to do.
We do.
Saturday, March 6th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. is our next Stephanie Lynn Boutique pop-up event. It's March's event. You don't want to miss it. We do them once a month, and they're just getting better and better and better.
So we have a lot planned for this next one. So, and it's a Saturday. So I think it's a great time. The other ones have been in the evening. So we're trying a daytime to see how that is. So the sun will be out, hopefully.
I hope
raining.
Fingers crossed the sun will be out. I hope so. If not, it's okay. We'll make our own sunshine. Yeah. It's fine.
We'll make our own sunshine. Can you tell?
Yes.
We're just full of sun.
We are. Today's a fun day.
Yeah.
We have a special guest coming today. I'm going to text him in just a minute, but we had the pleasure of doing a book signing at our last pop-up event. So if you missed it, we're going to give you a sweet little interview right now. But the author of The Color of Warm, Jeff Henckel, will be joining us today. We're going to be interviewing him. This was his first book that he's written. He's out of Alaska. Super excited to bring him in. You're going to hold the book
You are
up.
so fast.
The Color of Warm.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we're going to bring him in just a second and introduce him and do a great interview and talk to him for a few minutes. Let me see if he is ready. It's a fun story. So let's see if our technology is working great.
Yeah.
And bring in Jeff Henckel from our waiting room.
Wow. Let's see.
Oh, look at Jeff with the snow.
Jeff needs to turn on his camera. There he is.
Hello. Welcome.
How you doing?
Henckel. Welcome to Randy and Janelle Live.
Thank you.
Love your picture. It's very appropriate. Alaska. What's it looking like today?
It's cold and my heat quit working in my office today, so I'm a little bit on the chilly side.
No.
We got a guy from a mechanical company come to look at it, but yeah, when it starts to drop pretty fast. I don't know what the temperature is outside. It's probably I'll spin this around a little bit. There's nothing but snow out there. Hang on.
It's coming to us live from, are you in Anchorage or Eagle River, technically?
I'm in Eagle River, Alaska.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us. We're looking out the window, and it is extremely windy. I have no idea where this came from, but clear skies, sunny, windy, and it's going to be in the 70s. So I'm sorry, I won't talk anymore about the weather.
As you're sitting there like, okay.
I would like some sunshine, that's for sure.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We're super excited about the book, The Color of Warm. I have read it. Super fun. It's one of those books that you cannot put down once you get started and get going. You can't put it down because you want to know what happens next. So anyways, we just wanted to chat with you to get a glimpse into your mind of what it took to write this and why you wrote it. So let's start with that. Why did you write The Color of Warm?
Kind of a few quick answers to that. One, I wanted to model my kids, you can do whatever you want to do in life. And I just wanted my kids to see that. I always want my kids to see me modeling, being successful and trying new things, doing new things and making an effort and following something that you dream of doing. I've wanted to write a novel since college. When I was in college, I was not studying English as a major or anything like that. I was studying completely unrelated subjects, but I would go to the library and check out books on writing fiction because it was fun for me to read. And so I read a lot, I bought a lot of books. I have books on my shelf back here about how to write fiction, but yet 30 years later, I'd never tried it. And so I just decided it was time to do it.
So what was your trigger that all of a sudden you're like, now's the time? Because that's a long time to think about it.
Yeah, part of it was modeling to my kids. I've realized as I've gotten older, father time is undefeated. We're all going to get older, and you can't go back and do things. And so part of it is just I gotta do something before I'm dead.
Okay.
But also I happened to be out on a boat for 3
Okay.
days, and when I was out on the boat, it was 3 days on the ocean. There's some dead time out there where you're just traveling, and I was listening to an old country western song, which are always stories, and and I got this idea in my head, and it was just a picture with that song, but then the picture kind of drove me into just creating a story in my head. And we had about a 6-hour boat ride that day, and I started crafting the story in my head, and I thought, oh, that'd be fun to write a story about this. And for the next week, that it just never really left my head. And about a week later, I thought, I got to write this down and start. And so it was just all combined, and I started writing and got up every morning at 3 a.m. and wrote from 3 a.m. until about 7 a.m. every day, and just thought, if I just commit to doing this, I can write fast. The story, I never had like writer's block or anything. The story was just like, oh, I got to get the next section out. I already knew where it was going. And so it was just fun. And literally it was like reading, for me, it was like reading a great novel, but slower, because I knew where it was going and I had to get it out. And there were parts of it where it was like, oh, that'll be fun to add this element or create this element. And so, it just kind of started that way, and it took me about 3 months.
Wow.
And I think also, this was during COVID, obviously, COVID time. So I think that got a lot of people's creative juices going because we had nothing else to do. And what a great silver lining of the downtime. I know you were doing it at crazy hours. I mean, the man does not sleep apparently, because 3 a.m. writing until, for hours in the morning. But COVID has allowed a lot of us to get really creative and do things that we wouldn't have normally done. And so that further supports what you were trying to do, and such a great example to your kids of having a dream of doing something. And even during a pandemic, what a great time to do that.
Yeah. And that was part of the issue too, is that my line of work, I ended up meeting with clients less often because of COVID. And the result was I had a little bit more time in the afternoons. So there were a few days where I'd write until 7, and then about 1 o'clock, I was just exploding, trying to get more information, and the story wouldn't leave me. And so I would get my work done from 7 until about 1, and then I would run home and I would write until my wife got home at 5 or 6. And so on days like that, I could really get a lot accomplished, and that was fun.
Awesome.
Wow. So from what I understand, the locations are real, but are they based on real people or characters, or is all of that? No. So don't read the book trying to figure out who it is in real life.
Yeah, a lot of people have done that and have told me, friends, and the very first thing I told my kids, because the character is a prostitute, one of the characters is a prostitute. You'll figure that out first chapter, but not giving anything away there. But I told my kids, hey, look, none of these characters are you. None of these characters are me. Mother, no, this is just purely fiction. I made it up. I think anytime you write, you can hear, I think Randy even said, she was laughing about hearing my voice in one of the characters, or like where I like to eat when I go down there. Obviously, I used some of that with my characters. My character tends to eat at In-N-Out and Chick-fil-A. Well, whenever I get out of the state of Alaska, I eat at Chick-fil-A and In-N-Out because we don't have those up here.
Right.
Some stuff like that was fun to do. But yeah, and then the whole story takes place in the Sacramento area, El Dorado Hills, and the Bay Area for the most part. So
that's part of the funness of that for me. I don't even know if that's a word, but I just made that a word for us.
Yeah.
Is when I was reading it, I'm like, it toys with you a little bit because you know these locations. You totally know these locations.
Picture yourself driving down
So
the
I'm
road
like,
to that location.
well, I eat there. I've done this. So then you're trying to figure out who the characters are. Oh no, it's fake. What? It's fiction.
Yeah.
What am I doing? So that's a game that for those that are local to those areas that are, you know, in addition to enjoying the plot and the story. But it is fiction, everybody. It's totally made up. But what an amazing story. I know that you've talked, we've spoke about it before, but you really had a goal when you were writing this, Jeff, to have a compelling story and a compelling character. And can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I just wanted to, you know, it was the idea of writing a fictional story is there, you know, from the creative standpoint, I wanted to write realistically. I wanted to write a character that a reader would feel compassion for, feel dislike for, whatever it is. I wanted to spark emotions. And I felt like, well, you know, a great book, and I'm not saying I'm a great writer, but a great book, you read it and you're like in awe, or you're dismayed, or you're brought to tears, or whatever it might be. And so I wanted to, when I wrote this, spark emotion out of my readers. I wanted to make a reader cry, which I think I accomplished with some readers, not everyone. But even when I was writing it, I don't know if this is weird, but there were a couple of sections that were hard for me to write because I was writing intense things for the character, and it was like, oh, this is not fun. So I wanted to write something that you would tear up, maybe, if you're that type of person, that you would dislike a character, but maybe then change your mind about them and feel more passionate about them, that you would identify with them. Because to me, it's like, it's not a very good book if you can't feel anything towards them. Obviously, if you don't feel anything, you're not even going to finish the book.
Yeah.
I think I accomplished that.
You did.
That's
you
awesome.
did. That's awesome. Very cool.
So what's next? Are you thinking of a sequel? Are you thinking of a whole new book? Are you done with book writing altogether? Check. I did it.
Great question. When I started, I wanted the book to be standalone. It was like, no, this is complete. It's done. But both Randy, my wife, and another reader were all like, they read it before it was out, and all of them had the same response, which was, what happens next? And I was like, well, nothing. It's over. And
I think I hit you at that point. I might have smacked you. I'm like,
yeah,
no.
you did. And so it was like, I just decided that I would, I got an idea in my head, and it's percolating. I could start, but there's a couple of things I have to keep. A book that was done. If you're going to continue, it has to fit. And so the idea I have, I'm still working on making that fit. If I continue with some of the characters or whatever I'm going to do, it has to fit. And so there's some difficulties I'm going to have if I continue, but I think I've got a really good story to continue with.
Got it in the noodle up there. He's got it up there.
And most of it is up here. It's just fine tuning some of the things so that it is congruous with the other book. And so, that's the next one. And then I've inspired my daughter to write, and her and I are talking about co-writing.
Amazing.
We're talking about co-writing a series, and so that it's hard because right now I've got two completely different tracks percolating in my head.
By the way, besides your day job. Yeah.
So, you know, it just means, and we're starting to get more daylight here. And
you're actually starting to get daylight there? Did you mean that? I don't know.
He's in Alaska, yes.
and it's easier for me, like if I can get up at 3 and that's just about sunrise coming up. I mean, it'll be like, technically I think it's 3:45, but it'll be dusk or dawn. And so as we're getting more daylight, I'll probably start sitting down now and writing and pumping out this next book and getting it done. And my hope would be to to have kind of a similar timeline. I was able to write that one in 3 months. I would like to get this one done in 3 months and take a little bit more time on the editing process that I felt I rushed.
So many things learned on the journey too, right? That's amazing. So The Color of Warm, where can we find this? Besides local folks, Stephanie Lynn Studio Boutique. I do have them available in our boutique, but if you're not local to the Sacramento, Folsom area, where can they find these, Jeff?
Yeah, you can find it on Amazon. It's on Kindle. It's on Nook. Kobo is kind of the international version of Amazon that people use in other countries more than Amazon, is my understanding. So Kobo, and then right now we have not been able to get it onto iBooks yet. I'm not sure why. I'm still kind of trying to play with that. It's a learning process to figure out how to put books online for sale. So
yes,
that's one of them.
And you have a website as well, right?
Yeah, you can go to jeffhenckel.com. You can't buy it there just because I don't want to be packaging up and mailing books. But it will direct you to the Amazon.
And we'll put that down below in the notes as well.
We'll put it in the notes.
Actually, ironically, I get paid a little bit more if they link to it through my website than if they go directly to Amazon, which is just something Amazon does.
All right, so go to the website and then you can order it from there. And you've got other cool things on the website to check out as well.
Yeah,
and we can put the information to follow you on Instagram as well.
Thank you.
At your Instagram handle. Awesome. Jeff Henckel, author of The Color of Warm. Thank you for taking the time to join us. It's a great read. Congratulations to you.
Yep, and looking forward to the next one rolling out. So we'll definitely have to follow back up as that.
Hopefully by the end of the year.
Sounds good.
That's a good goal.
Sounds good. Well, congratulations and thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Take care.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
All right. That was awesome. You have read the whole book, obviously. I have not. I am still trekking along.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you just got it.
I just got it.
At the book signing.
Yeah.
That girl got hers autographed.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun book.
Fancy.
So many people think they know what it's about from looking at the cover. And I just love it because he was super gifted in his writing, because there will be stuff that you're like, wait, what? You think you know what's going to happen, and you have to keep reading because you're like, I got to know what's happening next. So anyways, congratulations to him. So. Thank you for taking the time to visit with us. So
Okay, so biggest final book, and next Saturday, not this Saturday coming up, but Saturday 6th, come by and see us.
Yes, DM us for the address. We'll be out of the Folsom Studio Boutique. Yep. And March 6th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. So we got to go because we got to get busy, get stuff done, ready for that. So anyways.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Thanks for joining us.